welcome to Card for the Day by Healing Hand Services. My name is Julie-Sian. Today is Friday, the 18th of June, 2021. And the deck I have been drawn to use is the Angel Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. So we sit here connecting ourselves to Mother Earth, the Father Spirit, and we're calling in our angels, our archangel spirits and guides, our ascended masters, our loved ones and our elementals, and ask them to step closer, to draw near, and to ask them what knowledge do we need to know today, what wisdom, what insight, what information do they want us to know today, and we thank them for stepping close. So connecting with specifically our angels, as this is the Angel Tarot, and we ask our guides and our loved ones to step forward. Shuffle the cards and see what message they have. There's a card sticking out and we have the 10 of air. Air is all about your thoughts. If you had an ordinary tarot deck, this would be 10 of swords. And it's saying this is an end of a difficult situation. It's telling us that embrace the change. You have to embrace the change. They're coming, look, the unicorns are coming out of the darkness of the wood and they're coming out into the light. They've struggled through that dark forest and now they're stepping out into the light. Things are looking better now. You're recovering from an addiction. Now, this may seem strange, but that addiction could be the addiction of forever putting yourself down, the addiction of thinking you're not possible to do things, the thinking that you haven't got the self-belief, the thinking that you haven't got the confidence, the thinking that you're not able to do this, the thinking that, oh, I better not do this because this is what I want to do, but it may upset other people. That's all the thinking, the thought, the air. But what you're now doing is you're deciding to take control of your thoughts. Sometimes we think of a thought and we can just ignore that thought. Or we can think of a thought and then we can acknowledge it and then do we act on it or do we then let it go? And this is the time that maybe you've been thinking of all the negative thoughts. That is the addiction, because when people think of an addiction, they think the addiction of drugs, the addiction of cigarettes, the addiction of overeating, but it is also the addiction of self-sabotage. And this self-sabotage comes from your thoughts. And you are thinking all these negative things. So what it is saying it's the end of a difficult situation because maybe you're now thinking of things from a different point of view. Maybe you have taken, like the eagle, and he's flying above the situation and looking down and thinking, oh, you know, if you're in conflict with 3 other people, taking the view of an eagle above the conflict, and you can see where these other 3 people's thoughts and ideas are coming together, then you can make a better informed choice. Thinking. And it's like when you overthink things, you know, oh, if this happens, this will happen, if this happens, and that thing, and then they might think this. You don't know what other people are thinking. Okay, all you know is what is in your heart and what sits correctly with you and your intuition. And maybe, like I said, but sometimes you may have to think about yourself, because rather than thinking, yeah, I've got everyone, if I do this, it will upset everyone else, so I won't do it. So you're going to remain in a place of pain and upset. But that's what you think, because you think to yourself, if I do this, maybe that will upset them. But you don't know. You're thinking these things. You're overthinking. Maybe this is the addiction. You know, you're being too overthinking. And this is where your thinking is right. It's the time of a difficult situation is over. It's there that they're coming out of the wood and into the light. And maybe it's because you're now having to think differently. You are thinking positive. You are thinking, look, if I'm happy, it's the ripple effect. It will make everyone else happy. And why do I have to change and not grow in order to help other people? Because they're restricting you down. And it's like, yes, some people might think, oh, you're being really selfish if you suddenly go, you know what, I'm going to quit my job and do something that I love doing. It may be out of their comfort zone. And then you're thinking, well, no, I'll stay here because the norm is to stay in this 9-to-5 job with this heavy mortgage around my neck and worry about the bill. But it's like, no, let's think about yourself, because if you are happy, other people will, and then they will change. But you don't know unless you communicate. Don't think. And this is the 10 of air. Air is all about thinking all about your thoughts. It's saying it's the end of a difficult situation, because when we are thinking, if you're in a situation in the middle, something, this is you in the middle, and you've got the situation around you. If you are thinking positive and the situation around you is negative, you can manage that negative situation. But if you're in a situation and they've got a negative and you are feeling negative, it's going to go. But when you're looking at things from a positive situation, you change your thoughts, change your way of reacting, rather than reacting, maybe acting. Maybe instead of firing off suddenly, you take a breath and go, hang on, let's think, and then react. But react to the situation, but allow yourself to be in control of the situation. Because sometimes you think the situation is in control of you. Well, hang on a minute, take a breath. You want to take control, think things through differently, because perhaps the way you're working, the way you're thinking is not working. So let's think of other thoughts and acknowledge them and work on them. It's all about thoughts. And when you embrace the change, because this is what it's all about, they're embracing, they've come out of the dark forest and now they suddenly see the light of the field and they're just running for it. They've come out of, and they've done a change. They chose to come out of all that, the woods. Can't see the forest for the woods, all trees for the woods, whatever the saying is saying, but they come out of it and they're thinking things differently. And this is what you've got to do. Think things differently. And when you start thinking things differently, yes, it's going against the norm. That is the addiction, because you're always doing one thing, the same thing, time and time again. We always have a cigarette, time. We always have a drink, time. We're always self-sabotaging, you stay the same. But suddenly, when you change one thing, everything else. And what is that thought? That, yes, I can do this. I can go for my dream and do my dream job. Yes, I'm in a relationship and it's a controlling relationship. Well, I'm going to take control of it. That's not acceptable. Maybe you've decided someone's asked you, do you want to take a relationship to the next level? And you're going, oh, well, if I do this, the commitment is, maybe that's what you need to do. But it's changed. The addiction is all the way you've worked before, your way you carry, changing that addiction into a positivity and look at things from a different angle, from a different viewpoint, and then breathe and run free like those unicorns across that field, and embrace the change, embrace the freedom, embrace the new way of thinking, because all your difficulties have come to an end. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading today. If you have, don't forget to press like, share and subscribe. This message may be beneficial to someone you know, so do share. If you'd love to have your own reading, I would love to do one for you. To contact me, the comments in below. Have an amazing day, and it's wonderful thinking that the difficult situation is coming to an end and I'm no longer going to self-sabotage myself. Have an amazing day. Namaste. Take care. Bye.